Halo teman-teman bola.com, balik lagi di Bola Break bersama saya Heri Kurniawan, wartawan bola.com. Kali ini bersama kami telah hadir pelatih Borneo FC di paruh musim kedua BRI Liga 1 2024-2025, Joaqin Gomez Blasco. Hello Joaqin.
Good afternoon, I believe.
Ya,
Afternoon in
here
almost.
is almost 5 p.m. 5 p.m. almost 6. Ya.
Good afternoon.
Okay,
Thanks for
good
having
afternoon.
us.
How are you, Joaqin?
Very well, very well. Back home in Spain. I hadn't seen the family for a while, so the plan was resting, but I got my hands full. The kids don't leave me alone for 1 minute, and I only have a little bit of time now in the mornings to exercise and to actually start working. That when you finish one job one day and you start the next one the day after, you don't really have time to stop. And it's a very important part of the season now, building up the new projects and getting everything organized and planning. And yeah, very happy to be back with the family. I'm very excited for the next few months ahead of us.
Joaquin, if I'm not mistaken, you came to Borneo FC in January, right? Uh,
Yes.
in the January, and you make the team stronger. Before you came, the Borneo is in 12th position, I believe. But at the end of the season, they finish in fifth, if I'm not mistaken, fifth position, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
why? Maybe you have said this before, but I want to know the reason you not continue with Borneo FC.
It's not it's no point right now to go too much into the details. But we went to Indonesia. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know much about the country, the culture, and Indonesian football. We obviously, once that we signed, we studied the days before we arrived, and we did a lot of work. But the idea was to go to Indonesia. We had been without work for a couple of months, and I was climbing every wall of the house because in 16 years now of profession as a professional football coach, I've never been more than 2 3 weeks without working, and I wanted to finish the season working and to show that we do a high level work. And yeah, decided to go to Borneo to sign for the rest of the season, to try to change the momentum and
Mm.
redirect the situation of the team, and that's what we did. Then we wanted to see the league, the country, the that part of Asia market as well, to see what opportunities will come. And yeah, in the end, I think we did a very good job.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, if you asked me 2 months ago if I had an offer, I probably would have stayed, because I normally like to stay in places for longer projects,
Mm.
because I believe that the way that we work, it progressively builds up, as is shown at the end of the season. And we could have put a very good project together. But in the end, nothing came. There was no offer. There was
Yeah.
offers from other clubs. We were very happy that we were valued around the league and around the country, not
Mm.
only by the fans that send many messages, but from other clubs that showed a lot of interest. and
Mm.
and then we decided that ideally our first idea was to have something already put in place by the end of March, but
Mm.
that didn't happen. It wasn't that clear, so we decided to then wait until the end of the season to see what other offers and other projects we could explore. And yeah, we waited. From our club, nothing came up.
Mm.
Then we started to listen to other people, and yeah, waiting. We didn't want to wait too much because I didn't want to be without a job for a period of time, and fortunately as well there were some offers coming from Europe as well, and then we decided that maybe the right step to keep progressing, and it was to go back to Indonesia, to Europe, knowing that that the image that we've left in the country is very good, and at some point we could come back, we could go back to Indonesia, but hopefully if that ever happens, that is in a project that we believe that we can fight for the league, because I've got the feeling that if we ever were gonna go back there and had a project where we can feel that there is enough to fight for the league, I think winning the league in there, or competing for winning the league, is something very special in a country like Indonesia, and that's what we decided. We've taken now these projects in Cyprus. It's a very competitive league, and in a big club with a lot of history, with a lot of fans and support, and we are very happy and excited. So it's time to move on and look for the future, instead of thinking what would have happened if we ever stay there.
Yeah. I know you have been short time in Indonesia, Indonesian league, but is there any Indonesian player who impressed you during your work here?
Yeah, of course. There are many. I think there is a huge potential for Indonesian football, for the players. I think I actually believe that the foreign players and the foreign coaches are bringing a little bit more depth, tactically, physically, and simply on the day-to-day work, the type of methodology that you put in place. I think Indonesian footballers are like sponges, and they like to absorb new ideas, and if you push them, they let themselves to be pushed, and you have to direct them and give them new standards of professionalism. That is something that helps, and I think sometimes when you increase the number of foreign players, for example, it might seem like a detriment to the local players, but actually I think it works the other way around, because for the better ones, for the ones that got a brighter future, I think it pushes them, it helps them to be competing against very good level footballers and very good professionals every day, and that only makes them better. In terms of who impresses us, many players. There's a Yuri brothers. I think it was in Malud. I think there was something that we were really impressed, and I was happy that yesterday one of them got the opportunity to play with the national team, because I thought that probably the time before it would have been a good opportunity for them to show. But yeah, I mostly focus on the ones I was working with every day, and Borneo has a very good local players. Fajar is one of them. He's been 2-3 seasons working at a very high level. This year for us, he's worked in a different type of role, and he had to learn some different type of positioning and different ways of exploiting his ability, and he's adapted very well. He's a clever boy. He's very enthusiastic, but we had plenty of them. Rivaldo, wonderful player, one of the best midfielders in the league, in my opinion. Not just local, but local and foreign. He will be top 3 holding midfielders for me in the league, and then we had some others, Ezi, Dwiki, Dafa, that got to play the last game for us as a goalkeeper. Coleman, even though that he was injured, he played important moments in our season. I think very good pool of players to choose from the local point of view, and it's something I think as we saw yesterday, that the national team will be dipping more into, not just bringing the ones that are eligible from outside the league, but for the ones that play in the league is very competitive, and it's a very good league, and I think the national team will be getting more and more of those.
Yeah. That's our hope also. Many our local players can compete with for naturalized player to play very good in national team. Okay, Joaquin, let's move on from Borneo FC and Indonesian football a little bit to your new adventure. I heard you just signed with Cyprus team, right? Anartosis, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken, the name.
yeah.
I do a little bit research actually. That's actually a big club, right? With 13 league titles in Cyprus. So, what did you make? What made you accept their offer this season?
It's a few things. A few things. So
Mm,
obviously, when you get attracted by the idea of being signing and representing a massive club like an Orthosis, like you said, with so many league titles, with
mm,
having breaking records in the country in terms of it was the first team that was in the group stages on the Champions League. That is something that
mm,
they feel very proud of. And then when you look deeper into the football club and the community, it's a very special club because it's got a big support base, but
mm,
their history is very special because they come from a part of the country that was invaded by Turkey about 50, 60 years ago.
mm,
And the city that actually the club is from is a city that is still occupied and is been abandoned. And there has been three, four generations of people that have lived as refugees in other parts of the country, and especially now in Larnaca, where we are based. And it just it makes you feel that the connection with the fans and the connection with the community and the special situation and the special meaning that football has for them. I think I've used the phrase that for them it means a lot more than football. It's something that is very special, and it makes you proud to be part of the new project. And then that is the other part that they had a couple of difficult seasons
mm,
where there's been financial problems and there has been a lot of instability in the club. But now there is a new board, there is a new president that is very
mm,
young, he's only 35, and they have changed everything and everyone around. So they've changed all the people in the offices and every department, all very passionate for the club and all very young and ambitious. They changed the management, the sporting director and the assistant sporting director are new. There are people that support the coaches that
mm,
want to build something new. They've changed the player. We only kept 7 players from last season, and we had the opportunity to build a squad almost from scratch, which
mm,
always makes it more exciting to try to, even though that our budget is going to be a budget. It's going to be modest compared to other big clubs in the country that have got big budgets. It creates a challenge that it goes along my values and the way that we have to work, and it makes it very exciting to build a squad as we do it now, slowly looking a lot of players, and especially the type of players that we are choosing are players that got something to show,
mm,
something to do the extra work, to put more hours, to put more efficiency in the work, to show that they're good players in Europe, that they can compete with other players that get more money, and yeah, it makes all a project, a challenge that gets you from within, from inside, and as I said, we're looking forward. Even though that sometimes when you finish the season and after a very challenging and intense season that we've had there in Indonesia, after a couple of days you're ready
mm.
to go. If we were to start training tomorrow, I'll be very happy. Maybe my family wouldn't, but yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to tackle this new challenge with a lot of passion, a lot of enthusiasm,
Mm,
and as we always do. And I think we will have a special year, hopefully a couple or 3 years, where we can help the club to grow and to get the club back where it belongs and where the fans want to see the club being.
So it is something like long project, like to build the club.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's the idea
Hmm.
to make this year a more stable year,
Hmm.
to be able to compete, because our fans are very demanding as well. They don't want to be average, and we
Uh,
definitely won't be playing an average football. As you see, the type of football that we try to
hmm.
implement is a little bit different to most teams. It's a very proactive football, and that's what our fans will get excited and feel proud of, and
Hmm.
that's what we try. And then hopefully, little by little, steadily, and without doing crazy things financially, we can help the club to get back where it belongs, and hopefully this step in the next 3 seasons, we can all help the players that come to show that they're good players, to move on into better leagues, into better clubs, and for everyone to keep progressing in their careers. At the end of the day, is something that is very important for us in the way that we do things. We like to work with the team, obviously, and with the
Hmm.
club, but we invest a lot of time in individuals to help them fulfill their potential, because then it makes it easier for us to become a family and to be working towards the same goals, knowing that our or their personal goals and targets are fulfilled as well, and make them all more invested in the project.
Okay. Hey, so finger crossed for you, and
Thank you.
I hope one day when we do another interview with you, it will be you become a champion in Cyprus or you play in European football with Anorthosis, eh?
That would be
It
an
will be great,
unbelievable
eh?
achievement, a very big one. But yeah, what we want to do is to make sure that we all enjoy the process,
Yeah, yeah.
because
That's the most important one. Yeah.
yeah, it was a big part
Mm,
of what we did as well in there in
mm,
Borneo. When we arrived, it was a bad momentum, a bad feeling and atmosphere,
mm,
and we were able to change that, and to make the people believe and the players believe that they were good players, that they could play good football, that they could push themselves to be better than what they had shown before, and
mm.
to enjoy the process in the meantime.
Yeah.
Enjoying the process sounds about playing games
Mm,
or making fun. There are parts of it as well, but is getting the feeling that working really hard and pushing yourself to do more things and different things also brings you joy, and seeing yourself improving physically, technically, tactically, that
mm,
sometimes we feel that the players might not understand certain things, or they might not go into deeper concepts. I believe if you just playing it well and they see the reasoning why we do things, they can push themselves to keep learning every day. And as I said, I think when you see yourself working really hard and
mm.
improving, I think it brings you a lot of joy and fulfillment that help the process to keep developing as smoothly and help us to grow together. So
Yeah.
that's the target again, to make sure that we keep enjoying ourselves, that we keep improving ourselves, me included. And if we do that, I think we good things will always come.
Okay. Okay, let's do a little bit flashback, Joaquin. I read something interesting about you. Is that true that your starting point as a manager is in Brighton and Hove Albion?
Yes.
Wow. Right now, Brighton is one of top level in Premier League, right? And you have been work under some big name like Oscar Garcia, Sami Hipia, Chris Sutton, and Nathan Jones, I believe. What
Yes.
did you learn from them that influenced your managerial, your as a coach?
As a coach, I started earlier
Mm,
than that. Obviously, going to England was a leap of faith, and a brave jump, not only for me, but what I understood very early, I was always, I had a special love for football and a passion for football. I played all my life, but I understood that probably I wasn't gonna get as a player at the level that I wanted to be part of and to be working on, of and to make football my life, for me and for my family. So what I did is I went and studied as much as possible, become the best professional in sport that I could do. I did my coaching licenses, and I did a lot of coaching here in Spain. But it got to a point that, because I was very young, I was only 23, I believe, when I moved to England. I got all my budgets, my licenses, and my university degrees and masters. I couldn't get much more in terms of knowledge acquirement. What I had to get was experience, and we went to England, and it wasn't as easy as it might seem. We had to go there and work in coffee shops and restaurants to get by and to make sure that we could afford to staying in England and to have a house and to be able to eat every day. But once that I found the English system very rewarding. If you put work and you do work, you will get rewarding with progress, and to be able to get more and better jobs. Brighton was the first place that gave me a full-time contract as a football coach, which I believe that it should be the target for every football coach in the world. Doesn't matter if it's an academy role or a senior role. Is that you get paid full-time to be a football coach, to be thinking about football all day, and that's what we got in Brighton, and then we progressed from there. And I've been very fortunate to be working with great people, great coaches, not only the head coaches, but the sports scientists, medical departments, scouting departments, sporting directors, owners, and probably the best thing is that you get to work with people that have either played or managed at the highest level with the highest standards. And even though that they're different, they got different methodologies, different ways of man management, different ways of approaching football or style of plays. You can get things that you like and you don't like. And I had a teacher in my coaching licenses, Santiago Coca, that is more on the management side of things. That's always said to us that you have to have your vision for the way that you want your teams to play very clear. So you have to write it down. And when we were studying, we wrote it down, and it was a piece of paper and a document that I always went back. And every year, every few months, you get a new thing. That actually, that statement hasn't changed much to what it is now, but you polish it and you get adding things and be more efficient in the way that you transfer that message and that vision to the board, to the presidents, to the football players, to the fans, and I've been very lucky to be working with those type of figures in football that have helped me to develop and polish my ideas. And now what we've done in the last 6 years that I've been a head coach is then putting them into work, understanding that actually some of the craziest ideas that I had actually work, and modern football is going into ways that actually fit the ideas that I had quite a few years ago. And now what we're doing is that, of course, in every experience, in every project that we face, we add some new things, some new concepts that is helping us to evolve and to be more and more prepared for this modern football that we find ourselves now into. and yeah, it's been a wonderful journey that hopefully lasts as long as possible. I got the best job in the world, and I hope I keep doing this job for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
And until I'm very old and
Yeah.
either don't have a head anymore, or that it goes completely gray, as is getting at the moment.
Yeah, like Claudio Ranieri still managing when he's very old there
Yeah. I think
and bring
what we
Roma to
get
the
from
better place.
our job is so powerful, because you get into coaching at the end of the day, most of us, because you like to help people,
Okay.
and the opportunity that you get to not only put your ideas in place and to progress a team, but to actually touch into people's lives, and sometimes change them for the good. I hope mostly is something so powerful. Then the connection with the fans, with the supporters, gives you that extra bit every day. That is when you don't have it, it's like you craving for it, and
Mm,
it's very difficult. That's what, well, as I was saying to you before, that those 2 3 months I was in between jobs before I went to Indonesia were very difficult to me, and I've put my head into making sure that even though that if you wait, maybe if we have waited a few more weeks, we will have
mm.
had more offers to pick from. But when you get something that makes you feel something special, I think it's better to take it and to make sure that you keep working, and then you keep pushing yourself and enjoying this wonderful uh, job that we do, and this wonderful life that we experience it.
Okay. Well, Joaquin, it was very nice talking to you. But unfortunately, that's the last question that I can ask you because the time. But I hope you can do the best thing with Anatosis,
Thank you. Thank you.
and maybe someday you can win the league with them. And of course, you can come back to Indonesia, one day.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe the mark that Indonesian football and Indonesian people have left
Yeah.
in on us has been quite powerful, because the passion,
Mm,
the love that we have received in the last few months, and especially in the last few weeks, it's
mm.
been, and still now every day has been. It's been a great experience, and I believe that someday in the future we will cross paths again, and
Mm.
and we will love the idea of it. So yeah, maybe one day, maybe one day.
Okay. Okay then. Well, thank you for your time, Joaquin. And
Yes, anytime.
yeah,
I enjoy talking about football. So anytime that you wanna get together with some of your colleagues
of
as
course.
well, or do a little talk, I'm more than happy to do so.
Oke, of course. Oke, thank you.
Thank you.
Itu tadi teman-teman. Saksikan video-video kami yang lain di channel bola.com. Bye. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Joaquin.